So, UFC Fight Night Sterling vs Zelal is going down this weekend, and I, King here MMA, will be discussing the picks and odds for this card. Before we get down to it, if you could give if you can give it Instagram a follow, that'd be nice, and if you could give the YouTube a subscribe, that'd be even better. So yeah, let's get right to it. And, we're not even on the thing. That's the worst part. For the first fight of the night, we have Talita Alencar versus Julia Palostri. Not much to say about this fight, honestly. It's just a women's strawweight bout. I know Talita Alencar's more of a grappler, and Julia Palostri had a half decent performance in her last one. But she had a good submission over Ariane Kelanossi, whatever the fuck her name is. And Julia Palostri, she carried Kalvakavic in her last fight. And got beaten by Lipi Godinez. But I'm going to choose Alencar. I think Julia Palostri she's too susceptible in the grappling, so yeah. Talita Alencar by submission. Talita Alencar's $3.20 and Julia Palostri is $1.35, so yeah. That's that. And for the next fight, we have Max Griffin versus Victor Venezuela. I don't know who Victor Valenzuela is, I'm going to be honest, but I do know who Max Griffin is. Max Griffin's been in the UFC for a very long time. He's not gone real well lately. He's lost his last two to Chris Curtis and Michael Chiesa. Those are pretty bad aging losses, if I'm going to be brutally honest. And Victor Venezuela, it's his debut. He's 13-4. Apparently he was half decent on the Contender Series. I'm going to choose Victor Venezuela. I think Max Griffin's pretty washed. That's my only reasoning. Max Griffin is $2.70 and Victor Venezuela is $1.70. So yeah, that's my pick. For the next fight, we have Francis Marshall versus Lucas Brennan. Francis Marshall, his record's 9-3, but he's actually a lot better than that, and the odds say it as well. Like, he submitted Eric Silva in his last fight, lost to Marion Santos. Marion Santos is really good. Won against Dennis Budker as well. But Francis Marshall's really good. He's only lost to like a really good competition. And Lucas Brennan, he's brand new to the UFC. I've never seen him fight. I'm pretty sure he's just a debutant. I haven't done any research for his regional scene. I think Francis Marshall's going to win. He's a really good grappler, what I've seen. And yeah, I'm choosing Francis Marshall. Francis Marshall is $1.16 and Lucas Brennan is $5.30. So yeah. And for the next fight, we have Jeffel Philo versus Cody Durden. We've got the best saying on this channel: Cody Durden sucks, and it continues to be true. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't even need to explain this fight. Jeffel Philo, he's actually a half decent grappler. Like, a bit of a win-loss guy, but he did beat Clayton Carpenter and he only lost to Alan Nascimento, so that's a really good win. Just to a half decent bantamweight. And Cody Durden just sucks. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. If I was to say put the house on Jeffel Philo, I would. I'm choosing Jeffel Philo by a finish. Jeffel Philo is $1.14 and Cody Durden's $5.75. Yep. And for the next fight, we have Mauro Bueno Silva versus Michelle Montague. Mauro Bueno Silva has got to have one of the biggest downfalls for a woman. She was literally a title contender in 2024, and she hasn't won since 2023, which is insane. She lost to Raquel Pennington, then Macy Chassion. She's not very good. Jasmine Judy Macy, she's okay. And Jasmine Cavalcanti. Well, Michelle Montague, she's all finishes, all by submission. She's a really good prospect. She trains with Kayla Harrison. Michelle Montague, I think she's going to be the future bantamweight champ at bantamweight once Kayla Harrison leaves. She's really good, man. Really powerful. I'm going to go Michelle Montague by submission. Mario Bonasilva's just washed. Mario Bonasilva's $4.10 and Michelle Montague is $1.24. So yeah, that's that. And for the next fight, we have Jackson McVeigh versus Sariq Dumas, a proper flip 'em. Jackson McVeigh has not showed much. He did do okay against Zachary Reese, but Zachary Reese ain't exactly anything special. Yeah, it's just and he got submitted by Bruno Ferreira. He has a submission problem. He's very shit in the grappling. While Sariq Dumas, he got nut-shotted by Zachary Reese, losing to Olaj HX terrible. He lost to Dante Johnson. That's not looking so good anymore. And he won against Dennis Tululan, who's fucking terrible. I'm just gonna choose Sariq Dumas plainly because, he's got the UFC experience. He's actually been in the UFC since 2023, and Jackson McVeigh's just shown no level of he's just been so mid. So I think Sariq Dumas is gonna win by decision. Sariq Dumas is $2.50 and Jackson McVeigh is $1.50. Ooh, I did hear that Sariq Dumas is not training at a gym at the moment, so that I'm still going to choose him. I'm still choosing Sariq Dumas to win by decision. So yeah, so he's $2.57. Jackson McVeigh is $1.51. And for the next fight, it's actually a low-key banger. We've got Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric McConaughey. Rodolfo Vieira is one of the best jiu-jitsu athletes of all time. Won 10 to 11 titles in IBJJF. Lost to brutal KO to Bo Nickel. Then he beat Trayshawn Gold, which isn't actually a bad aging loss. But then lost to Andre Petroski. And before that, he was on a half-decent streak. Yeah. He'll beat the cans of the division, but, will lose to the up-and-comers. And Eric McConaughey, he was actually looking good against Susakaev. I would have argued he won that second round. He was looking good until he got, slimed out. And before that, oh my god, he went to a decision with Cody Brundage. That's crazy. Nah. Eric McConaughey, he's not actually that bad. He's actually more of a coach. But yeah, he's coming down from 205. He's at 205. What the fuck? I've got the wrong page up. But yeah, I think Rodolfo Vieira should get it done. But there is a world where I could see Eric McConaughey outstriking Vieira if Vieira can't get it to the ground. But I think Rodolfo Vieira will get him to the ground and submit him. So yeah, I've got Rodolfo Vieira by submission. Rodolfo Vieira is $1.30 and Eric McConaughey is $3.23. So, yeah. And for the start of the main card, Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. Marcus Buchecha, another jiu-jitsu ace, has looked fucking terrible in the UFC so far. Am I reading this right? He lost to Martin Buday, which isn't actually that terrible. Martin Buday was 8-1 in the UFC. And then went to a draw with Kennedy Nshekwu, which was equally as terrible. And Ryan Spann has like, you know, he's a half decent like competitor, man. Like, you know, he's been like win loss. He's moved up the heavyweight. He lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's a top 5 fighter. Beat Ovin St. Preux. And he beat Lucas Brzezinski, who's half decent. I think Ryan Spann has been in the UFC longer, has shown more, and I think Marcus Brzezinski is just fucking terrible. So, I'm going Ryan Spann by KO. And he's a big dude, man. So, yeah, Ryan Spann's $2.13 and Marcus Brzezinski is $1.70. So, that's who I'm choosing. Ryan Spann by KO. And for the next fight, we've got Montel Jackson versus Rani Barcelos. Montel Jackson, you know, slowly made his way up in the bantamweight division. Like beating guys like Damon Blackshear, Ronnie Yaya, and Daniel Marcos. He did KO like both Damon Blackshear and Ronnie Yaya. Couldn't do it to Daniel Marcos, beat the shit out of him, and then lost to Figgy. That Figgy loss is looking terrible now. But yeah, like he's pretty impressive in most of his performances. Was pretty lackluster in his last one. But Rani Barcelos, he's on a 4-fight win streak, man. Like, he beat Peyton Talbot. We all know how good Peyton Talbot is. Cody Garbrandt win isn't looking great, and that Ricky Simone win isn't looking great. Yeah, they're like opponents are very similar, but I like the like momentum of Rani Barcelos. I think Barcelos, if he's smart, which he has been, I think he can like just what he's been doing is like mixing in the takedowns with the striking and get a nice clean decision like Davidson Figueiredo did against Montel Jackson. So I'm gonna choose Rani Barcelos by decision. Montel Jackson's $1.55 and Rani Barcelos is $2.46. So yeah. And for the next fight, we have Davey Grant. Oh my days, it's Davey Grant against Adrian Luno Martini. I don't even know who the hell Adrian Luno Marnetti is. Sorry, I said Martini. What the fuck? Oh, I know who he is. He fought in the Dana White Contender Series against Mark Vogdalen. Had a war on there with him. Just scraped by Mark Vogdalen. Now he's debuting against Davey Grant, who is a tough matchup in any. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough matchup no matter what. But, Davey Grant, like, he's been on, like, you know, he wins and loses every now and then. Should have won against Daniel Marcos. But had, like, got hurt bad against Charles Jourdain. Got submitted. But Charles Jourdain's really good. He arguably could be ranked. But yeah, he beat Damon Blackshear and beat Ramon Tavares. Ramon Tavares is okay. And Adrian Luna Marnetti, what I saw from that and how I saw Mark Vogdalen, like, what I saw from Mark Vogdalen last week doesn't say a lot to me, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm going Davey Grant by decision. I think Davey Grant's experience is just gonna, like, show in this fight. And, yeah. Davey Grant's $1.80 and one Marnetti is $2.05. So, yeah. And for the next fight, low-key banger, bro. Alexander Hernandez versus Rafa Garcia. Alexander Hernandez has been in the UFC for a long time. Famously talks shit about Cowboy. But he's been on a good win streak, man. He was supposed to fight Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson got slimed out by Drew Dober. We all know why. You know, we all know why fucking Michael Johnson got slimed out by Drew Dober. It was just written on the walls. But yeah, Rafa Garcia knocked out Jared Gordon. That Jared Gordon win The only reason I'm not like rating it as high because now we know he got hit by a car a week of the fight. Vince Pichel, he's okay, but getting slimed out by Grant Dawson is actually shocking. But besides that, he's had a pretty half decent career. He is like that fringe of top 20. But Alexander Hernandez, he's been like on pretty good like win streak. Like that Austin Hubbard and Kurt Holloway aren't super great, but Chase Hooper like was on a 5-fight win streak when he stopped him, and Diego Ferreira was like on a 4-fight win streak himself before he slimed him out. I like this like momentum for Alexander Hernandez. He's got the reach, he's got the striking advantage. I think I'm going to see Alexander Hernandez get another knockout. I'm going to go Alexander Hernandez by a KO. So Alexander Hernandez is $1.80 and Rafa Garcia is $2.10. And also, to get slimed out by Grant Dawson is shocking. Just saying. So yeah. This is a low-key banger, this fight though. And for the next fight, we have Norma Dumont versus Jocelyn Edwards. Am I crazy saying this is a great fight? Like, low-key, like I actually don't mind this as the co-main. Like, Norma Dumont, she's been a staple in the women's bantamweight for a while. Had a really boring fight against Caitlin Vieira, but besides that, she's just been like tearing through the division. She lost to Macy Chassion, which is kind of shocking. But besides that, like she's beaten basically every chick that's been put in front of her. From Carol Rosa, Chelsea Chandler, Jerome Durandamy, Irene Aldana, Caitlin Vieira. Caitlin Vieira one was a bit of a robbery. But for Jocelyn Edwards, man, she's been looking good. Like she's not like a scrub herself. She's been like she's finished 4 of her last 4 opponents that she's won against. Nora Cronoli, really good opponent. Pasula Cachoeira, she's actually a dog in this division. And Chelsea Chandler, she's pretty good as well. And this is a really hard fight to choose. Because, like, I do like the streak that Norma Dumont's on. This might be a bit of a step up for Jocelyn Edwards. Like, it might be a bit too much too early. But I could see the upset. I could see Jocelyn Edwards. She's got really nasty kicks. She's got good grappling, which we saw Vieira control Norma Dumont with. And, like, she could get a sub here, Jocelyn Edwards. So I'm going to go Jocelyn Edwards by an upset finish. I don't know what, KO or submission. I'm gonna go submission because like it's hard to knock out like a chick like Norma Dumont. But yeah, Jocelyn Edwards is $2.93 and Norma Dumont is $1.41. So yeah, that's my pick. And yeah, I just rate those finishes better. Anyway, now for the main event, we have Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zelal. Now, a lot of people would say this is a number 1 title contention fight, bro. Nah. Listen, like, if Aljamain Sterling or Yusuf Zelal do something crazy, like, if Aljo was, like, to go out there and just slime out Zelal, or, like, it was the other way around, that's crazy, man. Like, that means Aljo would have knocked out a top contender, got a finish, done it more impressive than Mozart. That's the way like these two can like put them in that spot. I heard a rumor it's June, July, possibly that Volk could be fighting. But this is a banger fight. Let me talk about the fighters first. Aljamain Sterling, former bantamweight champ, probably one of the best bantamweights of all time. I think he like gets pushed over like for that, which kind of pisses me off. I don't know why. You know, like a lot of people don't talk about like how good Aljamain Sterling's run is. And we'll go from like, let's say, the TJ, like the Piotr Jan one, right? DQ, that was bullshit, whatever, right? But then, like, you know, he beat Piotr Jan the second time with the grappling, not with the striking. But he beat TJ Dillashaw, TKO'd him. I know Dillashaw was injured, but Henry Cejudo is still a good win. And this was when Henry wasn't so washed. Losing to Sean O'Malley, he was injured in that fight. Dominated Calvin Kattar. You know, had a bit of a boring smudge decision. Had a real super close fight with Movsar Evloev. I arguably thought he won. And, you know, like, he, like, outstruck Ortega. Like, I know it's not a great version of Ortega, who he missed a lot of weight. But, like, it's shown a lot more than what Yusuf Zelal has. You know what I mean? Because, like, Yusuf Zelal let Calvin Kattar win the third round. He let Calvin Kattar in 2025 win a third round, which is insane. But, like, I'm not going to say, like, Yusuf Zelal shit. Like, he's on a 5-fight win streak now that he's back in the UFC. You know, like, he beat Billy Quarantillo. He's a pretty decent featherweight. I don't know who the hell Joe Aarons is. But Jack Shaw's a pretty good featherweight. Calvin Kattar, like I said, he let him get to that third round and let him win the third round, which was crazy. And then he, like, heel hooks Josh Emmett, which Josh Emmett is washed more. Like, he's the most washed fighter ever. But, okay, let me just explain. Aljamain Sterling has this ability to get to your back really easily and real quick. And I feel like the way Yusuf Zelal, like, mixes in his wrestling, I feel like because Aljo has Merab as a training partner, I feel like the grappling of Aljo is just that bit better. And his striking is better than Zelal's as well. Like, I don't know where this talk of... Oh, I guess... Not really, because Zelal did technically outstrike Calvin Kattar, but he was mainly trying to grapple that fight. But this is a really hard fight to choose. But I think Aljo, like, if Yusuf Zelal tries to grapple Aljo, which I don't think he will, I think Aljo's going to try and get him on the... My shit's fucking going down. I think Aljo's going to, like, get to that backpack eventually and will sink in that rear naked choke. He's nasty, man. Aljo's, like, one of the most underrated grapplers in the UFC. Like, a bit more smudgy than... you know, like, he's a bit more smudgy, but he has nasty ground and pound when he needs to use it. Like, he does it when it's safe to do it, and I think he's got that, like, IQ too. Like, he's got very underrated fight IQ, and that's why, like, and plus the experience that Aljo has. Like, he has more experience in 5-round fights than anyone in the UFC's in the featherweight division besides Volk. Yeah, he's the only other guy who's got that much experience. So I'm going to go Aljamain Sterling by a late submission or a TKO possibly. I feel like there's a finish in this fight. I feel like it's from Aljo. But yeah, man, like, listen. This is a low-key banger card. I've been so slack with these videos lately. Like I said, this is such a, like, a cracker card. There's some really good fights. Like I said, we've got Aljo versus Lal. That's a really good main event. Norma Dumont versus Jocelyn Evans is low-key banger. Rafa Garcia, Alexander Hernandez, Davey Grant, Montel Jackson, Ronnie Barcelos, Ryan Spann. Like, but there are some good fights in this card, man. And I really, like, actually like doing these videos. I really like just talking how I feel about, like, fighting, you know. And, you know, I do want to get this out there. Like, I know I don't put as, like, I should put more effort into my videos, but sometimes it's really hard, like, to put the effort I want to put in, because, like, sometimes it's discouraging, like, seeing the views and be like, okay, maybe nobody watches my videos, but then sometimes people do watch my videos, and it's like, oh my god, people are watching my videos. But yeah, you know, I'm going to try and do more videos. Like, I know I've got to be more consistent. I've got to do more miscellaneous videos. I've got to be more original. And I'm trying to do that. I'm really trying to do that. I'm trying to do that with the background music. I've been getting copyrighted because I'm using a lot of, like, other people's lo-fi. I try and give them credit, but end up copywriting me. But yeah, guys, listen. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, like I said, this is a really good card. There's not many shit fights on this card, so yeah. please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Thanks. Bye.